Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Submariner two-tone reference 116613LB for Lunettes Bleues. You can see this 2009 to 2012 gloss blue dial two-tone Submariner on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this and our entire collection of pre-owned Rolex timepieces. Now, of course, this watch does represent something of a discontinued model. Though the reference continues to be made, it was only from 2009 when the two-tone current generation Submariner debuted to 2012 when it bowed out that the gloss blue dial was crafted to match the Serichrome blue bezel. Now, from 2013 forward, the sunburst dial of the prior reference 16613 was restored at the request of collectors. Immediately after this dial was discontinued, as with all things discontinued Rolex, it became a high-demand item. So you can see the watch, although identical to current mechanical and physical specifications to the current model, features a different caliber of luster, richness, and gloss to its dial than what came after. So the fit is exactly what you would expect of a super case Submariner. 40 millimeters across the round of the case, not including crown guards or crown. It's fairly slim at only 12.5 millimeters thick, not including the Cyclops eye. From lug to lug, the watch measures 48 millimeters, but as I've commented in the past, this is becoming more and more academic on contemporary Rolex watches, where it's rather assumed, and in fact likely, that you'll simply wear it on the factory bracelet full time. In that case, the solid end links of the bracelet extend the watch across the wrist to a more substantial 51 millimeters. It's a big watch in that it wears effectively like a 42, but you should be able to wear this one comfortably and with style if you can wear the standard pre-super case 40 millimeter Submariner. You can see again, my wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference, and this is how I wear it. I'll try to give you a profile shot so you can see from overhead. This is an acrobatic maneuver, guys. I'm arcing my arm around the camera. I'm looking through the rangefinder, so if this is not perfectly flush, I apologize. Okay, you've seen the fit. Let's talk about the feel. Now, a simple steel Rolex Submariner of this generation feels like a precious metal Submariner of previous generations. Not only is the case larger, but the bracelet itself, with solid end links, solid center links, and a milled out solid clasp, is simply more massive. Now, this two-tone easily feels like a previous generation hollow link bracelet gold Submariner, so it has impressive heft on the wrist. This is what you imagine a luxury watch feels like. You can see this is anything but an entry-level model with polished flanks to the bracelet, the Oyster style 3-link bracelet, polished and solid center yellow gold links. Of course, Rolex's 904L steel used, Rolex's own alloy of gold used, the case and bracelet manufactured in Rolex's own facilities, all the metal poured in Rolex's own foundry. Now, it's been a long time since there was anything but a straight through gold stripe atop a steel two-tone clasp, but you can see it's as nicely finished on the inside as it is on the outside. And of course, with the glide lock system, simply unlock it. Now you have the ability to maneuver in 2 millimeter increments up to 20 millimeters. So whether you want to use it as a micro sizing tool to get a more precise fit, or you want to use it to extend outward over a wetsuit, a dry suit, or even a thick winter coat, you have that flexibility. Far more than the 5 millimeter tool-free Easy Link you'll find in other Rolex references. Now, moving back to the watch head itself, you can see the flanks are of high polish, the lug tops are of satin finish, the end links are perfectly integrated into the lines of the case, and you have a solid gold bezel with a Serichrome blue ceramic insert. Now, this is the glossy blue that matches the dial, so note just how consistent it is from one surface to another. Because this blue matches this blue so perfectly, the bezel visually extends the dial, leading to the optical illusion that the watch is actually larger than the sunburst dial version of the exact same reference. Now, you'll note deposits of yellow gold within the wells of the Serichrome bezel. The nice thing about Serichrome is that it is effectively as scratch resistant as sapphire. So if you're not one to chip or shatter a sapphire, you're probably never going to put a scratch or a scuff on a Rolex ceramic bezel. Of course, it is a unidirectional rotating dive bezel, so if you please, you can line up the luminescent pearl, which is itself a multi-component assembly, intricate in the Rolex fashion, deceptively complex. Simple in appearance. Line it up with the minute hand, and the sapphire capped pearl allows you to time an interval from 0 to 60 minutes. I actually prefer a dive bezel to a chronograph because whenever I do have to time something in countdown or count up fashion, it's generally of an hour's duration or less. This is easier to see visually than subdials of a chronograph, and again, if you never need to time anything beyond an hour, the long-term service costs of maintaining a dive bezel are far lower than those of a chronograph. Now, of course, that spectacular gloss blue dial, it has a richness, a depth, a gleam, and a gloss that is reminiscent of enamel, and it is of that optical quality, beautifully polished. This is a watch that I happen to prefer to its sunburst style successor. The dressings, however, are identical to its successor. You can see large indices in yellow gold with yellow gold hands matching at center. Of course, they are all beautifully luminescent. They feature Rolex's Chromolite Super Luminova surrogate. Nice and bright, it's handsome, easy to read in any light. Now, there is a date underneath this Cyclops Eye magnifier, and one of the often unadvertised qualities of Rolex dates is that they do, in this current generation of caliber 3135, jump precisely as the hour and minute hands align at midnight. It's a quality you'll find in few other watches at under $100,000 cost. Now, naturally, Rolex loves to write a book on the dial, and I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes version of what's underneath the case back to warrant all that script on the dial. It's Rolex's in-house 31-jewel automatic winding caliber 3135. It features a 48-hour power reserve. It's a COSC Swiss chronometer, so very accurate. Tested as a bare movement, then cased up again by Rolex and tested again to chronometer timing standards. That is rare within the industry. It's protected down to 300 meters by the screw and case back and the triplock seals of the crown. It features hacking or stop seconds to synchronize precisely to a reference time, as well as a quick set to rapidly cycle the date. It is a bidirectional rotating winding mass with Teflon-coated reversing wheels, so it's almost impossible to hear or feel the system winding itself. It's quite refined. I'll also say it has a quality of being a very satisfying premium manual winding experience, and this is something that's often overlooked when manufacturers create automatic calibers. Winding in automatic is usually a gritty, unpleasant experience. Here, it's sweet, creamy, and smooth, as though Rolex expected you to wind it manually, or at least to test the quality of the manual winding. It features a free-sprung balance with a dual-anchored balance bridge, the two features combining to make the watch more shock-resistant and precise in the face of bumps, disruptions, vibrations on the wrist. It features an overcoil hairspring, which helps the watch resist positional or gravitationally induced timing deviation, and the hairspring itself is made of a parachrom blue alloy that Rolex created and patented, which gives it robust anti-magnetic qualities. Now, of course, the movement entirely executed in-house, like everything else about the watch. The latest generation of a long line of Rolex sports watch calibers, this one boasting the greatest accuracy and durability, both of that line, beating away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. The best of everything, and once again, I do mean everything, because this dial has a character, a color, a gloss, and a gleam that today you can only get on the white gold Rolex Submariner. You can see and you can own this throwback to the late 2000s, now a discontinued dial, on our website. Parting is such sweet sorrow, but I'd be remiss not to show you a loom shot of this Rolex two-tone Submariner's Chromolite dial. Of course, stainless steel, blue Qs, and yellow gold, but in the dark, this gorgeous turquoise on the maxi-style indices. Easy to read in any light. This is a loom shot of the Rolex 116613LB, the gloss style, but as brilliantly luminescent as any of them.